Okay, today we have to discuss about pollination and structure of the flower. This is a very important topic of the biology chapter. So we have to discuss about pollinations and structure of the flower. Before discuss about what is the pollinations, we have to discuss about the structure of the flower. So let's know about the parts of flower and which part is not. What is the name of the flower's part? First of all, the part of this part of the flower is known as petals. Like this part of this flower is known as petals. This is known as petals, and this part of the flower is known as sepals, and below the sepals is known as receptacles. And this is the flower stems, which consist of the stems of the branches of the plants. So we have the two main parts of the flower, which is known as stamens and pistil. Stamen and pistil is the main part of the flower. Stamen is the male part of the flower, and pistil is the female part of the flower. This one of the flower's structure, the name of this part of flower is known as stamen, and it is the male part of the flower. And this structure of the flower is known as pistil, and this is the female part of the flower. It means one flower consists of both male and female part. Male part is known as stamen and female part is known as pistil. So the male part stamen also has the two parts. The first part of stamen is known as anther. The name of this part is anther, and below the anther, this part name is that filament. The name of this part is filament. Same like that, the pistil, it means the female part of flower, also has the three types. The first part is known as, this part of the female flower is known as ovary. The first part is that is known as ovary, and this is called as style. This part of the flower is known as style. And above the style, this part of the pistil is known as stigma. This part of the flower is known as stigma. So we have the flower, the male part of the flower is stamen, which consists of two parts. This one is anther, and this one is that filament. And the female part, which is known as pistil, also have the three parts. This one is this one is known as stigma, and below the stigma is that style, and below the style, that one is that ovary. So now we have discussed about what is the pollinations and how the flower of the plant play very important role to the reproduction of the plant, which is the sexual reproduction. So this is the structure of the flower. Now we have to discuss about the pollinations of the flower. How the plants do the pollinations. So basically, pollination is a kind of reproduction. When the pollen grains is known as the sex cells, which play very important role to the reproductions of the plant. So pollen grains, the name of pollen grains is also known as the sex cells. Sex cell, it is also known as sex cells. When we are talking about the pollen grains, that means the sex cells of the plant. Now, when the pollen grains from the anther, comes to the stigma of the female part, means when the pollen grains from the anther of the male part comes to the female part, which is the stigma, is known as pollination. Definition of pollination is that the pollen grains which consist to the anther, when the pollen grains comes to the from anther to the stigma of female flower, is known as pollination. So pollination, we can write the definition of the pollination, that the process by which anther come to the stigma. Anther is the male part of flower, and the stigma is the female part. The process by which anther pollen grains come from anther to the stigma is known as pollination. So we have the two types of pollinations. One is that self-pollination, and second one is that cross-pollination. 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 Self-pollination means that if the flower, it means that the flower, the same plant. It means the pollen grains of the same flower comes to the same flower's stigma. It means we have the two flower. This is suppose this is the figure of one flower and this is the figure of another flower. If each flower contains the stigma, and suppose we have the two flowers. This one is that flower's structure and this one is the flower's structure. Two flowers have the different plant. This flower belongs to a different plant and this flower belongs to the different plant. If the pollen grains from this flower come to this flower stigma, then we can say that the pollination is called cross-pollination. Then it is known as cross-pollination. If the same flower, it means to say that the anther of this flower comes from the anther of this flower, pollen grains come to the stigma of the same flower, then it is known as self-pollinations. So we can write the definition self-pollination. The pollen grains of anther, same plant went to the same plant's stigma, then it is known as self-pollination. Self-pollination and cross-pollination means the pollen grains of the flower went or crossed to the different flowers plant, then it is known as cross-pollination. So this is the small kind of knowledge about the pollinations and the structure of the flower. So thank you. If you like my explanations, so do like my video and subscribe my channel and share also. Thank you.